evening. I'm Cindy Bertram, and thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. Yes, it's been kind of a busy week because I just got back. Actually, last Tuesday, I was on the Victory One christening cruise, and with Victory Cruise Lines, what you not know about them, I'll share more later on too. What they did was, Victory Cruise Line had two ships. What they did was they sold off two American Queen Voyages. Okay, so what they did, which is kind of fun too, is then after American Queen Voyages went under because they were owned by a different company, that company went bankrupt. John Wagner, who had been the former president of American Queen Voyages, actually bought those two Victory Cruise Line ships last year, and they decided to relaunch them as Victory Cruise Line ships, and they sail on the Five Great Lakes. I did share more about, because I just got back last Tuesday morning. The ship docked at Navy Pier, Chicago, which is about an hour from where I live. That was great too, but I sailed from the ship from Toronto. They flew me into Toronto on April 26th. What they do is they provide all the guests. I was there on board as far as media, because they're christening the ship on the full voyage. They put us in a hotel first, then I went to ship the next day, which was April 27th, and that's when they actually christened the ship. And John Wagner's daughter actually christened the ship, so she was the godmother. And the ship is small, but they've got a lot of good entertainment. Plus, it's a great way to really see the Five Great Lakes, because there's some places not been to. One, of course, was Niagara Falls. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my God. So beautiful. We also went to Mackinac Island. With Mackinac Island, which is really nice too. I'd heard about it, never been there. What they do is they've got this bridge, big bridge you can actually get over on the bridge to Mackinac Island, but on Mackinac Island itself, they don't allow any cars, okay? What they do is they've got bikes for transportation. Also, they've got horse-drawn carriages, which are great. I did a horse-drawn carriage tour. It was phenomenal. The horses were so big but beautiful. It was great. You see different areas, and it's very, very great place to visit. Seriously, I'd never been there before and hadn't really heard much about it, but really beautiful. And just like I said, it's kind of fun to be on a location where they don't allow cars, okay? But bikes, also what they do too is in the wintertime, I think they will let people use snowblowers if they have to get different places. But during the wintertime, of course, they will have a lot of visitors, but it was a really great place to kind of explore different things too. Different places, Five Great Lakes, and then we wound up going, of course, to Navy Pier, and they dock right there, which is really, really pretty. And then also what happened just this week is actually on May 12th, they actually debuted their second ship, Victory 2, and what she sailed out of Navy Pier, Chicago. They christened the ship, and actually John Wagner and his wife, Claudette, their granddaughter, actually christened the ship. She's 12 years old. So that was great too. I'll share more about that. It was kind of fun because that's kind of fun how they did it too. You know, just good things too. And also something else I shared before was with Norwegian Cruise Line. They launched their new ship, the Norwegian Aqua, okay? And what they did was it launched, and they, of course, they launched it right when I was going on a cruise on another ship too, but they launched that one. And really fun because what they do is they also have enhanced their private island called Great Stirrup Cay. I've been there several times. I love it. It was the first private island I went to on a cruise ship years and years ago. Beautiful. They've added more. But with the Aqua, it's actually their new ship was just christened. It's about 10% larger than their other ships, Norwegian Prima, Norwegian Viva. It holds 3,571 guests at full capacity. Also got expanded outdoor areas, high-level staffing areas too. They've also got the Aqua Slide Coaster. It's a hybrid roller coaster and water slide with dual slides. Okay, how fun. They've got their Glow Court digital sports complex and nightclub, and they've got a 3-bedroom duplex suites on the Haven too, which is great. Haven is their own version of their ship within the ship concept too, but like I said, they've got some original entertainment. They got Revolution, a celebration of Prince, of course. Also, they got Elements, The World Expanded, and there's a new specialty restaurant on board. Also, a new plant-based eatery, yes, and their indulged food hall. Okay, and right now that she's been christened, Norwegian Aqua is sailing from Port Canaveral. She's offering 7-day Eastern Caribbean cruises through August this year, with stops at Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, one of my favorites. Also Tortola, which is great. British Virgin Islands have been there too. It's great, beautiful. I love it. I just love it so much too. And then also, they got Great Stirrup Cay. And then from August this year through October this year, she's going to sail on a series of 5 to 7-day routes from New York to Bermuda. And it's going to be followed by a series of 7-day Eastern Caribbean cruises, of course, with sailing from Miami, of course, through April 2026, which is great too. So, but I love it. And also, if you've never been to Bermuda, I was there a long time ago. It was a beautiful island, and they have actually the pink sand beaches. Yes, they're pink sand beaches. Pink beaches. They're beautiful. The sand is pink. Beautiful. I'd love to go back there too. It's great. But once again, how fun about that too? And also something fun that I want to reshare again today is because teachers work so hard, okay? And what Norwegian Cruise Line just did, they announced it actually, started in May, and what they did was, what happened was last week was actually the week of Teacher Appreciation Week, May 5th to the 9th. What they did was Norwegian Cruise Line announced the return of their Norwegians Giving Joy for annual teacher recognition program that celebrates the work of their educators too, which is great too, across the U.S. and also Canada. So what they do is a teacher can get nominated, okay, so the nominations began May 5th. You have to get a teacher nominated by May 31st, so please remember, get that teacher nominated because they could win a free cruise, which is great, and I just love what they're doing. Their program is called Norwegian Giving Joy. The website is actually www.nclgivingjoy.com. And this is the 6th year they've done it. And what they do is get a teacher nominated, how they stand out, because like I said, it's just they do such a phenomenal job. And what they do is then the top 20 teachers, determined by their Giving Joy panel, will be rewarded with a 3 or 4-day cruise for 2 people. In addition, the top 3 educators with the high scores will actually be named grand prize winner. Will also win an inclusive invitation for the 3 days christening voyage sailing from Miami next spring, on their new ship, Norwegian Luma. And this is a sister ship to the Norwegian Aqua. So once again, it's just a great way to celebrate teachers. They actually started this in 2019, Norwegian Giving Joy. And what they did was they received, over 61,000 teacher nominations too. And they've awarded more than 200 educators with a vacation of a lifetime too. So please remember, a good teacher, the teacher can't nominate themselves. They have to get nominated by somebody else, but it's called Norwegian Giving Joy. The website again is just www.nclgivingjoy.com. And right now it's open for nominating a teacher between now through May 31st, but do it before May 31st. Okay, they do is then they go through, they got a panel that decides on the top 20 teachers, and those teachers get a 3 or 4-day cruise, which is great. Then the top 20 actually will be getting a chance to be on their new cruise ship coming out next year, which is great. And something else that's good too about Norwegian Cruise Line too is, in addition, what they do as far as there's nomination for teachers too, they awarded more than 270 educators with this vacation lifetime. Also, donated over, oh my gosh, 1,000,000 teachers and their schools with support from their NCL's value partners too. So definitely keep in mind, because once again, we just celebrated, last week was actually the honor of Teacher Appreciation Week. So keep it in mind too. So a good teacher, get them nominated, please, before the end of this month, okay? That's your mission, okay? But wonderful. Such great things too. And also, like I said, something came up too is, it's on the Victory 1, and the ship it's smaller, maybe in our tuna gas, but I tell you what, the staff was phenomenal. The food cuisine was fantastic. It's smaller, once again, though, they're going through this Great Lakes. Now they got the Victory One, which is christened just on April 27th. I was there. That was fun. And then they just actually were able to christen their second ship, Victory 2, a sister ship to Victory 1. They just did that on May 12th at Navy Pier. And that's when John Wagner and his wife, Claudette, their granddaughter actually christened the ship. So that was kind of fun, too. So, yes. And then something else, too, is as far as other things going with the cruise industry, too, is on Motorways, they've got their third luxury ship, okay, and it's sailing on the Dover River, okay, and they just announced this, too. They christened their newest luxury river cruise ship, the Ama Sintra, okay, and it actually embarked on a regular voyage from their picturesque Douro River in Portugal. So the launch of this new ship further it strengthens Motorways' presence in Europe too, and once again, it's just great that they just did that too. And like I said, with the Ama, I think it's pronounced Ama Sintra, but she carries just 102 guests, okay, and showcases the best of the Douro region too. The ship features 51 staterooms. They have an outside balcony. They have large floor-to-ceiling windows, which is great. And it really lets guests be able to just enjoy the beautiful views of the river from both sides of their staterooms and their balconies too. And also, they've got on board the ship too. They've got their sun deck pool. They've got their fitness room. They've got a main restaurant offering specialty cuisine, healthy, okay. And of course, too, they did their special ceremony in Porto on April 17th. And it was actually nominated by Jen Lee. She's the president of Vacation Planners. I met her a couple times. She's a great person, so it was great to kind of meet another godmother, too. Also, they did, too, is they actually are sailing, too, and like I said, their intense itinerary is along the Douro River, and they have, it's actually a sister ship to their Ama Douro and also their Ama Vida. And like I said, Ama Motorways has been operating for 23 years. They're family owned, which is great. They offer river cruise line experiences with 31 custom designed ships on Europe's major rivers, also Southeast Asia Mekong River, also Africa's Chobe River, and then Egypt's Nile River. Yes, you can sail on the Nile River on Ama Waterways. And then they just launched this to Colombia, South America, their Magdalena River, which is great. They just launched that. So it's a great, great opportunity. So definitely think about this too, because Ama Waterways, with the word Ama, it means love. And they've got great people work there, and also Kristen Karntz, who's co-founder, plus Rudy Schreiner. They're fantastic, and they just really, really care about their staff and people, and that's really great too. So that's kind of fun that they just launched their ship too. So definitely keep it in mind too. So, okay. Also, mention another thing I did too was this was actually on April 9th to April 12th. I was at the christening of the MSC World America, and it was absolutely beautiful. Okay, I can't talk more highly about it too. Excuse me. But they sailed out of Port Miami. Also, they departed. MSC Cruises built the largest cruise ship port there, period. Beautiful. It was so luxury, easy to walk through like crazy. You can actually dock 3 ships at Port Miami. And what happened was, remember the ship before 3 o'clock, presentations they did, and then what was fun too is then, of course, the guy they selected was Drew Barrymore, which is great. And when they did the announcement of her too, what they did too is, it was during the Super Bowl, they did this big special commercial, and it was with Drew Barrymore and Orlando Bloom, and their theme was Time to Holiday. So that was the thing, really fun too. So once again, it's just kind of reaching out to people in the U.S. to think more about taking MSC Cruises and their beautiful ships. What they did was, they've got, as mentioned, they've got their new 4-level terminal, which is the largest terminal in the world, period, okay? And also, with the World America, it's actually the largest ship in the MSC fleet, okay? and she was christened on April 9th in Miami at their terminal, but on the board of the ship too, which is great too. So that was really fun too. So that was fun. And like I said, the Port Miami, the terminal is absolutely beautiful. So yes, so keep it in mind too. And then something else I did too was, as mentioned, the ship was gorgeous. And what would happen was they christened the ship. We had dinner first, and they christened the ship. And beautiful, beautiful experience. And of course, Drew Barry was so excited about christening the ship too. And then what they did was, some people were invited to be at the christening itself. They had to disembark the ship by 1 o'clock in the morning. So what happened was we didn't actually depart Port Miami until maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But what we did was we went to their private island, MSC. It's their Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. I'll share more about that later too. It's beautiful. I've been there before too, but also it was really fun too is they had different entertainment that evening. And one surprise they did was they actually had a surprise concert by a very, very famous Cuban singer. Okay, Gloria Estefan. Yes, Gloria Estefan performed an hour-and-a-half concert outdoors on the ship. It was amazing. You know, it was just packed like crazy. You had to actually go through another area to get up on the deck higher up to watch her perform. It was so amazing. I mean, such a great singer. She's an amazing person. I love music anyway, but it was like a nice surprise, okay? And then, like I said, once the guests got off the ship, the rest of us were actually on the cruise sailing itself 2 or 3 nights. We sailed out that Wednesday night, April 9th, on the ship. Then April 10th, 11th, then we sailed back to Port Miami we're back at Port Miami on the 12th of April, which is great too. But one thing about MSC World America and Ocean Cay, it's their private island. I'll show you some pictures. I got this big, big, big brochure. I'm still going through it, but anyway, this is just one part, okay? Look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful it is, though, too. They got a lighthouse there, too. What they do is, you can climb up the lighthouse if you want to. The ship dock's right there, which is great. You get off the ship dock right there, walk right off. You get different places to eat food. It's all included. Beaches, whatever. They've got these really nice open-air. They're more than jeeps to actually take you around different areas because they keep expanding. Plus, what's great too is the island is beautiful. It's not a party island. Okay, they got so many things to do too. But once again, too, is with this lighthouse. This is on one side. You can go there. They've also got a bar right there too. Plus, also if you want to actually walk to the top of the lighthouse, you can do it too. It's a little bit of money, but also then what happens is they stay late at night. So actually, on April 10th, they did a special white party, okay, on the island, because we were still docked there. You had to wear white, of course, which I did. Got off, and they had this beautiful area. They had a bar there. They had a band playing music, appetizers, that kind of stuff, too. And then the lighthouse lit up, too, which is great, too. And then we were there still on April 11th, half a day. And we didn't sail out to the afternoon, but they got some fun things, too. But one thing that's really nice about Ocean Cay is they've got their the Marine Reserve, which is beautiful too. Here's another picture with the ship dock right there. I'll show you this picture. It's great too, so if you can see it too or not. But that's better, right? Yes, but look how beautiful it is. You know, ship's dock right there. And what they do too is with they're working hard on coral restoration, which is great. And like I said, what happened was 10 years ago, Ocean Cay, before MSC took it over, was actually an abandoned sand mining site. What they did was MSC Cruises, they actually leased that island from Bay Montgomery for $100 million for 100 years, okay? Then what they did too is they want to restore it, and what they did was it's been designated as the Mission Blue Hope Spot and hosts a marine conservation center for scientific research. And when we were there on the first day, on April 10th, they actually had ribbon cutting for their beautiful Marine Conservation Center. And Dr. Sylvia Earls, who actually is one that launched Mission Blue, she's a marine biologist. She was there. I met her. It was great to meet her in person. But once again, too, is it's stunning, beautiful. They invested over $400 million in the island to bring it back to shape. The trees were dead. They planted new trees. The sea life was dead. Like I said, then they did was they spent some money with their Ocean Conservatory. You walk right there. Beautiful areas. They're building coral reef trees too. It's wonderful because once again they're really focusing on coral reef restoration too. So once again, it's beautiful. Just such a beautiful place to go to. And also, like I said, they've got excursions, of course, which are you can wander 2 miles of beaches if you want to, which is great. Also, you can choose your spot. They've got, of course, just beautiful place to get some food, snacks, whatever, cool drinks, beach bars, and also people can go snorkeling if you want to. Also, underwater wonders, paddle wheels, windsurfing too, which is great too. But just beautiful. So it was a great spot to go back to too. And like I said, what they're building as far as their Ocean Conservatory is absolutely amazing because once again, they are rebuilding coral reef trees, which helps save the ocean. And we need that more than ever. And I'm going to write about that too. I did get my article written about MSC World America. Beautiful, but just amazing. It's just what they're doing is so amazing. And to dock right there, we spend more time there too, which is great too. So it's just so beautiful. I mean, just amazing what they're doing too, because they include, of course, different itineraries, Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises, but once again, all their cruises do stop one day at Perfect Day, their private ocean, MSC Marine Reserve. They all stop there for a day. Plus, what's great too is they stay later at night, because it's close. It's very close to Port Miami. They stay later at night, which is great. So exciting, because like I said, when we departed, we actually departed in the afternoon because we had to get back. But like I said, they did that really beautiful party that night too, which is great too. I mean, no, the first night right there. I'm sorry, yeah. April 10th, they did that big white party on the island. It was really fun. After we had dinner, whatever, we got off the ship, had to wear white. I did. But it was so fun. They had a band playing drinks, and just, like I said, the lighthouse was lit up too. It was so beautiful. And just, I can't talk more about that more. I'm just so excited. It's just amazing what they're doing too. Once again, building the ocean too. As mentioned, they have been working with Dr. Sylvia Earls and her Blue Ocean, which is great too. So it's good too. So anyway, something else that came out too is they just, like I said, as mentioned, MSC Cruises, they actually, of course, inaugurated their largest cruise terminal in Miami, and they actually opened that up actually on April 5th, okay? But once again, they did a special ribbon cutting ceremony too, and it's actually the largest cruise terminal ever built, okay? But like I said, it was so beautiful, and like I said, so easy to walk through too, which is great too. You've got boarding bridges, you've got special luggage screening areas too. But I tell you, it was so easy to walk through, you know, because sometimes where cruise ships dock in the airport areas are kind of older, but this is beautiful. I cannot speak more highly of it too, and that's actually, like I said, MSC Group, the parent company. They inaugurated their world's largest cruise terminal in Miami, okay, at Port Miami, and that took place on April 5th. Once again, such a beautiful port to depart from too, so keep that in mind too. And something else that came up too is, oh, this just came out too. I didn't realize it. Having just gotten back from the MSC World America christening cruise, which is great. What they did though too was they actually have debuted 2 new original shows. Okay, and they just opened those up too. What they did was this actually their new entertainment just debuted starting May 17th, and once again they've got what's really fun too is one stand that they did too. I saw part of it was called Dirty Dancing in Concert, which is great, amazing. They did part of it on our christening cruise. But also what they've done too is they've got new shows, okay? And it's like their commitment to really, I think, developing immersive entertainment too. The 2 shows include Odyssey, which is produced by Anytime Creative. Odyssey is a visually arresting acrobatics spectacular set within a dreamlike world inspired by Homer's Odyssey. And the show actually blends storytelling with this awe-inspiring, wonderful performances in a theatrical experience. Something else they actually debuted too, this came up on May 17th, new show, which is actually going to take place tomorrow, yes, is actually one of the largest illusion shows ever created for a cruise ship. It's momentous, okay, and it was produced in collaboration with the twins TX. That's actually an award-winning team that did special effects for Back to the Future and the musical, Disney production, Doctor Who, Mission Impossible, and then more things too. Once again, as mentioned, the World America departed for her first public cruise on April 12th. Okay, I was on the christening cruise, which was boarding on April 9th. She was christened that evening by Drew Barrymore, right? Then we sailed out, came back on April 12th, and that's when she did her first cruise. So right now, the World America is sailing, offering alternating 7-night Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises. They stop, of course, in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Costa Maya, and Cozumel, Mexico. Also in Roatan, Honduras. Like I mentioned, all their sailings include a visit to Ocean Cay. And that itself is just a beautiful place to go to. In fact, in my case, I mean, I love the ship, but getting back to the ship, if I could stay another day there, I would have. It was gorgeous. Just so many things to see and do, and just so relaxing because it's ocean water and just beautiful things to see too, which is great too. So that's good too. Something else that just came up too is, you might not have heard of it before, but there is actually a cruise company called Margaritaville at Sea. They launched a couple years ago, and what they did was they went through some management changes. What they've done now is they're expanding. Okay, and one of the business execs just joined them. In fact, I saw him briefly at a cruise conference. What they did was they actually have officially now purchased the Costa Fortuna, which is going to be sailing out of their home port, arriving in 2026. Okay. Once again, it's a former Costa cruise ship too. So right now they got 2 ships sailing on a Margaritaville at Sea, but they just purchased the Costa ship, the Costa Fortuna, and that's going to be starting sailing for them at Margaritaville at Sea at 2026. As far as their new ship, the Costa Fortuna, it's a previously owned ship by Costa Cruises. It has a capacity for 3,450 guests, which is really not too big if you think about it. Because sometimes, like Ika Seas handles probably over 6,000 guests. But with Margaritaville at Sea, it's really great too. They're going to rename the ship too, of course, but she will actually accommodate 3,450 guests, okay, on board. And I know that they're going to be they're doing some redesigns too. It's going to be Margaritaville at Sea, 3rd and largest ship, and as mentioned, this allows them to expand beyond their current Tampa and Port de Palm Beach home ports too. Also, they recently announced that Margaritaville at Sea Islander will branch out destinations including New Orleans, Aruba, Curacao, and Montego Bay starting in January 2026, which is great too. And then, like I said, in 2027, they get a wide array of different itineraries too, and overnight in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, which is great too. And they're doing some renovations, of course, before the Costa Fortuna joins Margaritaville. They're doing some refurbishings too. Like I said, over the past 3 years, they've really been focusing on building Margaritaville at Sea, but living what people really want, which is like a laid-back attitude too. And like I said, they've only been in business for a couple of years now, but it's really great that they purchased a ship. They're going to renovate it too, which is great too, and be able to expand with different itineraries too, which is great too. And so right now, with Margaritaville at Sea, they actually launched their Sea Paradise in May 2022. And like I said, they've since welcomed hundreds of thousands of guests. And then in 2024, they introduced their second ship, the Margaritaville at Sea Islander, to expand. And now, like I said, they've really been building the brand itself, which is great too. And also, like I said, taking over, purchasing that Costa Fortuna, it's be a great way to actually expand what they're doing too. And they will be reopening it under their brand in 2026 next year. So keep in mind, because it's kind of fun too. Think about that too. Definitely, it's fun. Something else that came up too is I've talked about Explorer Journeys. That's actually the Lesher Cruise Line ship company owned by MSC Group. MSC Group has got MSC Cruises. Okay, I was in the World America. I'm still so excited about being on the ship. It's amazing. They also have their Mediterranean Shipping Company. They got their MSC Foundation, plus their Lesher Cruise Line is actually Explorer Journeys, and they launched that with their first Explorer 1 ship in 2023. Last year they debuted their Explorer 2 ship, which is great, but they just made some announcements, which is really fun because they sail different places. But they did was they announced that Explorer Journeys is going to debut their first Alaska cruises in 2027. Yes, and they're going to be offering very different lengths, of course, with their Alaskan cruises, different ports, and of course, being able people to see glaciers, which is great too. And they'll be sailing a round trip from Vancouver, British Columbia, between Vancouver and Seward, which is great too. So the Explorer 3, which is their third ship, is going to actually debut in 2026 next year. But like I said, they're going to do is they're going to use that ship to actually do Alaskan cruises in 2027. So like I said, they've got this just announced this too, which is really fun. They just announced it actually yesterday. But anyway, they're sailing their inaugural Alaska season with 14 cruises in 2027. Excuse me. And the Explorer 3 will actually operate their first program. And like I said, what they're doing is they mentioned this at a conference, which is great too. And which is great. That's really fun too because it looks beautiful. With the Explorer 1 ships, Explorer 2 ships, Explorer 3 ships, with the Explorer 3, she's going to be offering 7, 9, 10, 11 night cruises operating round trip from Vancouver, British Columbia through Vancouver and also Seward, which is great. Okay. And then during that time period, which is great too, the season opens May 10th of 2027. That's with 11-night Vancouver round trip that calls on Wrangell, Juneau, which is beautiful, Endicott Arm, also Skagway, Sitka, Ketchikan, and also Prince Rupert and Victoria, British Columbia. And also, excuse me, they've got fairs they just announced too, but once again, I did Alaska a long time ago, 7-night cruise, it was gorgeous, and I would love to do one of these too. And then they've got 7-night cruises from Vancouver to Seward. And these will be embarking on July 16th, 2027. These will call in Ketchikan, also Icy Strait Point, Hubbard Glacier, Valdez, and also Kodiak. And then they got a 9-night Vancouver round trip sailing August 24th, 2027, which goes to Wrangell, Icy Strait Point, Haines, Tracy Arm Fjord. Also, they've got Prince Rupert and also Victoria too. And once again, more about the Explorer 3, which is going to debut next year, but then in 2027 she'll do Alaskan cruises for the first time. She is scheduled as a service in 2026. She accommodates 956 guests, which is great, and she's liquefied natural gas operated too, so that's really kind of fun too. So definitely keep that in mind because once again, I love Alaska. I want to go back there so much, but it's gorgeous too, you know. Also, something else, we talk about Out Islands, which are beautiful. I love MSC Ocean Cay. Their Ocean Cay MSC Marine Resort, which is gorgeous too. And of course, Celebration Key, which is Carnival Cruise Line's first new private island, is going to be launching in this July. I wrote about it. Also, Royal Caribbean was offering their new Perfect Day Mexico. Okay, and this just came up too, which is really kind of fun too, because once again, Royal Caribbean, what they're doing is they're raising the bar, and they just mentioned their destination lineup with their Perfect Day Mexico, and they're going to break records with different features too, and they spent, funny, the last 50 years really sharing perspectives as far as how to transform a global vacation for all generations, which is great too. So once again, I know that they're going to have at their Perfect Day Mexico, they're going to have a local water park, okay, and their guests can actually experience more than 30 adrenaline pumping water slides, yes. Also, slide towers, including, and see the picture, yep, it's going to include the tallest water slide tower in North and South America. It's more than 170 feet tall, okay, and it features two dueling slides. Also, rides can take it through within 2 minutes. Really thrilled kind of things too. They've got their Splash Cove. Splash Cove, which is fun. It's a central neighborhood for guests of all ages to really introduce the longest lazy river in the world, which is great too. Also, with a crazy side to it too, they got the hour-long float. Has multiple entries too and exit points too, so it's really great too. And like I said, I know that with their Perfect Day Mexico, more than 10 different expansive pools, okay. Also, kids have a chance to have their own adventures because they've got their largest, Royal Caribbean's largest splashaway bay with water slides just for the kids too, which is great. Also got their El Hideaway. This is adults only, okay. So you get a day pass for people that are 18 years and older, can actually party all day long with a zero entry pool, swim at bar, in pool, which is great too, but it's really great too. And like I said, this is actually things coming up with Royal Caribbean's new Perfect Day Mexico. Also, they've got more information about this too. They've got their Fiesta Plaza. This is an area that transport people straight to the heart of Mexico with live music and dance, etc. too. Also, they've got their Costa Beach Club, okay, and people can actually upgrade to the beach day for a long level for exclusivity too. Also, they've got their Chill Beach North and South. Guests can actually kick back and really enjoy the beautiful beauty of Mexico. Comfort loungers and towels and beaches, etc. too. And also, like I said, they're working with people there too. Also, they've got they got the Royal Beach Club Paradise Island. That's going to debut actually December this year. It's the first Royal Beach Club in the Bahamas with stunning beaches, and they've got their Royal Beach Club Cozumel. That's kind of interesting. It's going to feature different beaches too, which is really kind of fun. So keep in mind too, I'll share more about the Royal Caribbean, which is their new Perfect Day Mexico. When more details come up too, but that's really kind of fun, isn't it? Because who wouldn't like a perfect day, right? Also, a bit more about we'll talk a bit more about Victory Cruise Lines, okay? So once again, having a chance to see on the Victory one was really interesting because I got a chance to see different places I've never been to before. And like I said, I really enjoyed Niagara Falls, beautiful, but also just different places, really fun too. Ships are small, and like I said, the staff was just so phenomenal, just great things to do. Plus, you get relaxed when you're sailing on the lakes too. But great, just more about the background too is, John Wagner had been the founder of, they originally started as American Steamboat Company. They changed the name to American Voyages, which he founded. And then, I know he sold it off to Hornblower, which went bankrupt. But in the meantime, though, they had actually purchased these two Victory Cruise Line ships, started sailing on the Great Lakes. What was last year, he decided to exit his retirement to revive Victory Cruise Lines. They purchased the two former ships from American Voyages, which he founded too. And like I said, they launched the Victory One on April 27th. She was christened. And also, like I said, they just christened their Victory 2 ship, Victory Cruise Line, the Victory 2 ship. They just christened that Navy Pier Chicago. And once again, um, he just said that, they just really, really like doing the ocean, the river cruises, not the ocean, I'm sorry, the lakes cruises too, because some people mention they like to try something different where they don't have to actually fly overseas too. So once again, they've got, that way in this case, because in my case, they flew me to Toronto. It was under 2 hours from Chicago. In this case, I think why they're focusing on Great Lakes is because it's a good cruise destination. Because once again, people sometimes they want to cruise, but then if they're sailing, we're going a flight that maybe takes 6-7 hours, whatever, too, it's kind of exhausting. And like I said, they want to make sure that people can get access to medical facilities too, which is great too. Once again, with their 2 ships, which just got officially christened, which is great. They're smaller, handle under 200 guests, okay? And like I said, they're focused on Great Lakes. Now, he mentioned too that those Great Lakes cruises are going through, I think, October this year. And then I think they're going to worry about repositioning them too, because of course with the Great Lakes, they'd have to stop doing those cruises, I think, because the water temperatures get so cold later this fall. What they're doing too is they just mentioned, John Wagner mentioned that we need to focus just on, first year they were just focusing on the Great Lakes cruises, okay? But for 2026, he thinks he's going to offer maybe some Eastern Seaboard cruises, maybe a Bahama trip, and maybe wind up in New Orleans, which is great too. They're working on the itinerary, so announce more, of course, too. And it's really great too, because once again, it's just beautiful. Because, like I said, the ships are really. They've got their Compass Lounge, which is gorgeous. Their dining room is gorgeous too. They've got the grill upstairs. For breakfast and lunch, it's more like buffet type choices. Then for dinner, you make a reservation, but I think you actually cook on the grill, which is great. They don't have a pool. Once again, you're going through Great Lakes. It's too cold for pool stuff anyway. But anyway, and their entertainment was great too. Plus, they got their tavern, which is their bar lounge. Very, very pretty. But once again, you can just kind of relax, and see different things too, which is great too. So I think that was really kind of fun to think about it too. Just another option to think about too. And like I said, as mentioned, the Victory 2 was she just debuted on May 12th. And she's the only cruise line to actually dock there, because once again, it fits, okay, because it's not a huge ship, which is great too. So once again, they're going to be offering right now 33 departures in 2025. They hit the 5 Great Lakes and 1 voyage, okay? And then they're going to be offering us 10 to 15 night voyages from Chicago, Toronto, Milwaukee, and Montreal, which is great. Once again, too, it's just really, really great, too. And like I said, the mention, what they did was when they christened the Victory 2, it took place in their Compass Lounge, which is gorgeous, okay? And as mentioned, they actually had their granddaughter, Molly Applegate. She's the granddaughter of John and Claudette Wagner. And she broke a bottle of Master's Mark, Kentucky, on the boat too, which is great too. 12 years old christening ship, how fun, right? And once again, it just with Victory Cruise Lines, what's great too is it brings thousands of visitors to Chicago. And what they do too is people actually, once again, if you're coming from another place, you come in the day before, they put you up at a hotel, and they offer for every place you actually go to and dock, they offer free shore excursion, okay? So that's really kind of fun too. I know with the Victory 1, it was christened in Toronto on April 27th. I was there, it was great, but it's just a 190 guest ship, which is great too. So once again, it just includes different places to go to too. As in my case, what we did was we were there 10 nights between Chicago and Toronto, pre-cruise hotel. Then the ports call included Escanaba at Mackinac Island, which is gorgeous. I love Mackinac Island. That's the place that doesn't have any cars allowed. Also, what's really fun too is one of the short excursions you can do on board when you got off the ship, fudge. They got this area you can actually, one they did too, you could actually learn how to make fudge. They have fudge tastings. It's beautiful when you get downtown area. Also, they went to Sault Ste. Marie, Cleveland. Also, they did Niagara Falls, which I loved. Like I said, the included shore excursions give people the opportunity to really enjoy 1 to 3 hour experiences in different locations too. Also, what's great too is they've got morning and also afternoon times, which is great too. So I loved it. It was great. Like I said, they've got different dining options. They've got their Tuscan stone grill at night. It's an inclusive, interactive concept offered in the grill. I didn't have a chance to do it, but I went to the grill actually for breakfast and lunch because it was buffet. They could cook for you too, which is great too. And they got music, which is great. Also, beautiful places too, like I said. And like I said, they've got complimentary stay at the hotel, transfers that get you from where you stop to the ship, hotel, etc., which is great too. So definitely keep in mind too, because once again, it's a great way to reuse these ships, and the ships are really nice, beautiful. The staff was phenomenal. The food was fantastic too. But once again, keep in mind, Victory Cruise Lines, and like I said, they're going to be announcing more what they're going to be doing other itineraries for next year, okay? Because with the Great Lakes, they'll be doing them through the end of, I think, October this year, maybe November. Then the lakes, the 5 Great Lakes, the water gets too cold to do those, okay? But once again, just some more options to think about too. And I love that too, okay? Because it's great. But like I said, it was beautiful to experience myself too. And actually, I had not seen Niagara Falls myself too. So once again, it was great to see it. Plus, and I'd heard about Mackinac Island, never been there. And that's actually on the list. My sister wants to go there. The thing is, it's beautiful. And like I said, when we went, was just fantastic. And I decided to choose it was the motor coach, but we're actually the horse-drawn motor coach, which is great too. And the horses were so big. Oh my God, amazing. But just amazing. They're purposely trained, just beautiful, just amazing. So definitely keep it in mind, you know. Sometimes, like I said, the reason they want to do it too is sometimes people maybe don't want to sit there and fly to a destination, maybe a long destination like 5, 6, 7 hours. In this place, you can see the Great Lakes. And you got 5 different spots. They actually dock it right there, which is great. And it's fun. And the cuisine was really great. Plus, I really liked the staff. They were just so phenomenal, amazing. And so happy to be back too. It's great too. So once again, it's a great way to kind of experience the Great Lakes. You know, think about that. Once again, great. And they will be announcing more things coming up later this year about what they're going to be doing in next year. As mentioned, I think John Wagner kind of hinted about it, but I think they might try and do some cruises that might be going down south, which is great too. But they'll be announcing it later on. But once again, it's great to think about taking a Great Lakes cruise too, because once again, it was pretty relaxing. We had a couple days that were sailing on the lakes, which is great too. Once again, to have free shore excursion, which is great. That's great. And they had different ones that in the morning, same ones in the afternoon. They flip around, which is great too. It was really, really interesting to actually finally do it too. And once again, what's great too is, as mentioned with MSC Cruises and having the new cruise port built there, which is great too. But once again, the cruise port they've got is so, so beautiful. And like I said, what they're doing right now as far as their sustainability, which all the cruises are doing too, but once again, with Ocean K, MSC, Marine Reserve, it's beautiful. I mean, I'd seen it before in 2021, was there for the christening of the other ship too. But that's when they did the sand cutting for their conservatory. But to go back 4 years later, okay, and finally see that conservatory being brought to life, which is great too. But just beautiful experience. So keep in mind too, because once again, cruise lines are focusing on sustainability, which is great too. But also, they're going to liquefy natural gas, net zero, which is great. In the cruise industry, they want to make sure that the ships are actually going to be level 0 by 2050. And most cruise lines have really ramped up in this more that are so fast too, which is great too. And like I said, I mentioned when I was there for the christening of the ribbon cutting of their ocean conservatory, Dr. Sylvie Earls, the marine biologist who's been working with the Aponte family, was there, and I met her. She was there, of course, on the 3-night christening cruise, plus there when they did the ribbon cutting too. And we'll talk about her too in a minute here too. But she's an amazing person and just really, really, I think, loves what she's doing too. But just amazing. She's a marine biologist. Has Mission Blue, which is great too. But it was such a great experience to be there too. I love what they do. Plus, sustainability is so important too. It was great, just phenomenal. I just love being there too. I think we'll share that video real quick in a minute here too as we wrap up my show today. But it's great to share new things that really excite me, because it's great what the cruise lines are doing too, and they give back in different ways. But having a chance to finally meet Dr. Celia Earls was just so exciting. And I meet her in person after watching her do different things too, and they had such beautiful things to do on board the ship too. Different restaurants, my God, they had like 19 different restaurants, a lot of different bars and things. Plus, it was really fun too. It's on the top deck. It's where I think I shared last week. They got this special ride, and what you do is it's actually a slide, but they call it jaw drop. Okay, the reason they call it jaw drop is because I took a picture. I didn't go down it, but it's busy. But anyway, you actually jump into the mouth of a shark. Okay, it's not a real shark, but you can jump into the shark's mouth. It's called jaw drop, and you circle around, go all the way down to, I think, 11 decks. It's beautiful. Didn't have a chance to do it, but it's really fun. When I saw that shark on the top of the ship, I thought, okay, what is this really? But it's really fun too, so I love it too. It's great. You know, just kind of fun to see those things too, more than ever. Just great stuff too. I'll see if I can find a picture too. But the funny thing is, when I saw this shark, I thought, okay, why is this shark on top of the ship? Okay, But then they were ending what they were doing with that. They said, "Where do you want to go?" I said, "No, I'm kind of busy." But it's kind of fun to see it too, because who would have thought you have a slide that actually goes down about 11 decks, okay? And it's actually called jaw drop, but you jump into the mouth of a shark. Not a real shark, but that was fun too. So I'll show you a picture real quick. It was really fun. Let me find it real quick here. But it was just so fun to see it too, just hysterical. I thought, okay, let me find it real quick. Give me 1 minute here, but it's gorgeous what they did too. It was so fun to see it. Here we go, 1 sec. Here we go. Let's see if we can see it or not too. But this is actually the jaw drop, okay? That's actually not a real shark, but you can jump. You actually have to go in that shark's mouth. It's their slide that goes down about 11 decks down. It's so much fun too, and like I said, it's just you go in the circular type of thing too. Plus, they've got another ride on the top deck. It's called Cliffhanger. Okay, it's actually like swings. Okay, it's very safe, but you have to go to the top of the ship, same deck that the jaw drop is on. But it can actually swing. It's very safe, of course. I didn't do it, but kind of funny. These are actually some people that are actually doing this. It's called Cliffhanger. It's very safe. If you see the people or not, but you can go back and forth. Like I said, it's from the top deck. Cliffhanger, okay? It's actually a slide. You actually slide back and forth over the side of the ship, but it's very safe. 4 minutes. I don't know if I could do it or not. I'd be kind of scared, but it was kind of fun to watch people do it because they really came back with different smiles. It was so much fun to watch them do that too. As far as what they did when we were there, April 10th, I did the white party. This is actually what their looked like at night too. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? They lit it up. Okay. Beautiful at night. They had a band that played. Free drinks. And you had to wear white, of course, too, to match the party. But it was really fun too. And like I said, with their private out island. Here's another picture I think is gorgeous too. Take a look at this real quick here too. It is just so beautiful. But look how pretty that water is. It's so beautiful, the water. And the lighthouse right there. It was just really, really phenomenal too. And once again, this is another area I'll show you of the private out island. Okay. But right here is where they actually have. Let me see if we can get closer or not. But look how beautiful that is too. And that's actually where they got their ocean conservatory right there in the middle. different places too, which is great too. But beautiful what they're doing too. I'm so impressed with what they've done too. And I know they spent another $100 million on the island. Okay. It's just great to kind of see it again, you know, a couple years later. But beautiful what they've done, and I just love what they've done too. It's just a great way to relax, different places. They've got different places to eat, snacks, different things. It's complimentary, of course. They've got different places to get drinks. If you want to relax, it's beautiful too. So beautiful. But I love being there again too. A couple years later, what they've done is just so phenomenal, and I want to write about that too, because people need to be aware of what they're doing. And cruise lines are doing that too. Like I said, they're all moving to liquefied natural gas, which is great, but also just building marine life. As mentioned, what they're doing is they're actually building coral reef trees there now too, which is great too. So definitely keep in mind, it's a great place to go too, and it's a way to relax too. I love it. It was just a great place to go back there too. And to have Drew Barrymore christen the ship, that was fun. And of course, they did that big commercial during the Super Bowl about Let's Holiday. It was really fun to do that too. It was really fun because that's what they're trying to do as far as their branding. You need to find a place to just holiday. Yes, great. I think I'd be ready to share the video with Dr. Sylvia Earle. She's great, a marine biologist, which is great. But to meet her in person was so much fun.
I'm Dr. Sylvia Earle, a marine biologist, oceanographer, explorer, and I'm passionate about the protection of this blue planet. I grew up next to the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, and I've witnessed how much the ocean has changed and how marine life has been endangered. But I know there is still time to help the ocean, which is why I was drawn to the Aponte family's sustainability mission. Explorer Journeys has a genuine ambition to connect people with the wonders of the sea, its marine life, its communities, spiritually, physically, and intellectually. We share the same values and have the same objectives to deepen people's relationship with the ocean, to explore, protect, and restore. Explorer Journeys calls it the ocean state of mind, a sensibility that will ensure the protection of this precious blue planet. Through my foundation, Mission Blue, we're working on ocean conservation, inspiring hope with champions across the world. Beginning with my extraordinary role as godmother to Explorer One, we will be heralding a meaningful collaboration between myself, Mission Blue, and Explorer Journeys and the MSC Foundation towards preserving and restoring the world's oceans, the blue heart of the planet.